Okay, so we're going to make a quick review video tonight. Basically, I found a new primer that I like a lot, and basically my new favorite primer. So this is my old primer, which is Krylon Indoor Outdoor. This happens to be white. I usually get white and black, are the only primers I get. It's available also in gray and red. The thing I like about this stuff has always been the nozzle. The nozzle is gives a nice fan spray, so instead of being a circle, it gives a fan, and the nozzle also rotates, so you can control where the fan goes. So it's been a pretty good primer. I said I've used it for a very long time, and so far so good. But this stuff, I went to go buy some black primer, and the store I was at was out. I really needed it, so I had to get something else. So I got this stuff. This is Rust-Oleum American Accents 2x Ultra Coverage, also bonds to plastic. And I have to say, this stuff is absolutely fantastic. Now it does have a more standard round nozzle, so it took me a while to get used to using that again over the fan spray of the Krylon. But the coverage on this stuff is actually pretty darn good. There's no doubt about that. And it doesn't seem to obscure any of the details either. Let's take a quick look at one of my Mega Knobs. Get some light up here. So this was primed. Got some really good coverage. Just a couple places where I missed there, right in the, not on this one, but on another one. I didn't quite get it into the underneath into the armpit very well. But that was it, just in that one spot. The coverage on it was really good. Doesn't cover up any details, and it went on really, really easy. And it's on there pretty darn good too. I mean, it takes a lot to scratch this stuff off. You really have to work at it to scratch it off the plastic, which is pretty amazing. So it's not going to rub off easily. I don't know how well it's going to work on metal. I haven't done any metal with it yet. But for plastic, it's just really on there. What's really interesting, if you notice a nice solid black color. But this was sprayed at about 38 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's absolutely black. It didn't frost over at all in any way. So 38 degrees Fahrenheit, probably about 60% humidity. You know, basically exactly when you don't want to spray paint. But I usually primer anyway, because if it frosts, it's no big deal because it can get covered up. This stuff didn't frost. And just temperatures, it shouldn't work at all. And I cannot say enough about how happy I am about that, because it's winter time. And if you're going to be priming, you're going to be priming outside in less than ideal conditions. And even though it says on the can not to go below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, but the fact that it worked so well at 38 is just incredible. It's really going to make my winter priming a whole lot easier compared to the Krylon, which does frost if it's too cold. But again, I've never had an issue with paint sticking or the primer sticking when it did frost. It just kind of looked kind of funny. But it's I've never had an issue with I said adherence or painting over it or paint sticking to it or anything like that when it did frost. But the fact that this stuff was sprayed at such a low temperature and it came out absolutely perfect, to me is just astonishing. So this is my new favorite primer. You can see the can here, and it does say it's wet or dry sandable, which again is another huge bonus, being able to dry sand it, or wet sand it I mean. And the bond to the plastic is just fantastic. It doesn't take much to cover it. I mean, I've primed the Mega Knobs. I primed something else. I don't even remember what the last thing I primed. So I've used it quite a bit, and it doesn't feel like anything's gone because it just doesn't take very much to cover. Which the Krylon sometimes can take quite a bit to get covered, especially trying to primer over just a plain white plastic card with black primer. Actually took a couple coats to get a good cover, like all my trucks. This stuff just covers better. So anyway, that's what I would say. Give this stuff a try. I mean, it's your normal can price, $4 to $5, depending on where you get it. I think this was $4.79 where I bought it, and the Krylon was like $4.29 at the same place. And just absolutely just amazed by the results I'm getting out of this. So that's it for this review. Talk to you guys later.